So the Wallabies squad is pretty much hot off the presses for the June test against Ireland. There's a few bolters here and some guys who can feel a bit unlucky that they missed out. So I'll just go through the squad for you guys who haven't seen it. So props and hookers, we got Kepu, Robertson, Sio, Tupo, Ala Alatoa, Paenga, Mosa, Ulisi, and Fainga. It's Falau Fainga. Locks and loose forwards, so Rodder, Coleman, Simmons, Rory Arnold, Pocock, Timu, Hannigan, Michael Hooper, and Tui. The halfbacks, or scrum halves, fly halves, and midfielders, so Guinea, Phipps, Powell, Foley, Beale, Karevi, Kurandrani, and Rona. And the outside backs, Falau, Banks, Haylett Petty, Hodge, Maddox, Korobidi, and Naivalu. A few questions answered here, I guess, was who was going to play hooker with no more Stephen Moore and Pilota now kind of not being available. They've gone for what was the only choices, I guess, in terms of there wasn't anyone with a whole lot of experience. Luisi can probably feel a bit lucky because he's not really played a whole lot of game time this season. His teammate Rangi is probably a bit unfortunate, I guess, because he's been doing a job and he'd been tipped by some people to perhaps be a bolter for the squad. Fitzpatrick, I think, also Damien Fitzpatrick from the Waratahs can feel pretty unlucky that he didn't make it. Paenga Mosa was kind of always on the cards. Falau Fainga is a pretty big bolter as well with his suspension especially. But he must have impressed Michael Checker enough to make the grade. For the locks, it's good to see Isaac Rodder come in. He's a young upcoming lock, so he's got plenty to offer. Coleman was pretty much a shoo-in. No Sam Carter, so he's kind of felt the chop. His suspended teammate Rory Arnold's made it. I'm actually not sure how many matches he'll be available for with a suspension. I believe he's going to miss some, but I stand to be corrected on that. Simmons is one of those picks where I just, yep, okay, coach, you know better than me. Wouldn't have been my favorite, but he's Chex has paid a whole lot more and probably knows a lot more than me, so I'll leave that one with him. Pocock's a shoo-in also. Timo, I'm pretty happy with that pick. He's really impressed for the Reds this season. He's looked really good. Hannigan, I think he's going to miss at least one game with his injuries. I didn't know he was going to be available, but I guess his injury is coming along better than expected. Hooper is captain, always going to be there, and Lukan Tui, like Hannigan, can also cover the second row, but they've named him in as a back rower. Guinea, Phipps, and Powell. What strikes me here is no Jake Gordon. I thought he was in for all money, but he is apparently not doing enough for Checker at the minute, so he doesn't make it. I'm honestly pretty surprised about that one. I would have had him in the team for sure. Foley's the only specialist fly half in the team. That's kind of an indictment of where things are at the minute. In Aussie Rugby, I thought maybe Hamish Stewart would have got a call up as kind of blooding a young gun, but not to be. I guess Beale and Hodge are in the team who can cover 10 if needs be. Karevi, Kurandrani, pretty safe picks. Rona as well. Been playing in the midfield but can also play on the wing, so he's been impressive this season. Falau, probably first name along with Hooper off the sheet. Banks from the Brumbies has really earned his call up. He's been in electric form for the Brumbies, especially the last couple of weeks, so well deserved. Haylett Petty's not played a whole lot with his concussions, so we'll see how much kind of game time he gets, whether he's eased into it or whether he's checked on the deep end from game one. Hodge, again, probably similar to Falau and Hooper, is one of the top names on the sheet as one of the more established guys despite his age. Jack Maddox has been having a great season for the Rebels, so good to see him make the cut because, yeah, like I said, in terms of form, he's been looking really good. Korobidi and Naivalu, pretty safe hands on the wings. A few other guys who have perhaps lost out. My pick, Michael Wells. I picked him for the starting lineup, didn't even get in the squad, so that's unfortunate. No Higginbotham. I'm not sure that there was that much talk of him making it, but he would have been an experienced hand, if nothing else. Pete Samu is the interesting one from the Crusaders. So talk is that they're still waiting on NZ Rugby's clearance before that can happen. Hopefully New Zealand Rugby won't be silly about it and they'll just kind of give him the release the same way Brad Shields got with with England, so hopefully they'll just release him and he'll be able to be called up, but still no news on him at the minute. I had read that he'd been released, then it had been quicker than Shields, and then still talk about New Zealand kind of digging their heels in, so who knows what's going to happen. Yeah, Jake Gordon, Hamish Stewart. The other two, probably Henry Spate, hasn't been in his best form, so I guess he's feeling a bit of that and not making the squad, and also Tangele Naiyaravoro, he's heading overseas, so I guess it makes sense that he doesn't make the squad. There was a bit of talk about it given the form he'd been in, but he was exposed kind of in his last game by the Chiefs on defence, so I guess that probably also had a hand in things. So yeah, that's the squad. A few winners, a few losers. I'm still pretty gutted Gordon didn't make it. If there's one guy I would have definitely had in there, it was him, but not to be. Let me know your guys' thoughts on the squad, and yeah, we'll see how they go against the Irish in not too long. Alright guys, I'll talk to you again soon. See ya.